So there I was, sitting on a folding chair in a city council meeting. I'm in the overflow room because the city council chambers are so filled with people, they had to pull out the folding chairs and put everybody else in the lobby. You see, the city council had two decisions that they were going to make that evening related to homeless services. And one of those decisions was going to have a great impact on my agency specifically. More on that very soon. About 25,000 years before the advent of writing, people communicated by telling stories. They often did this by the light of a campfire. After the day of the work had been done, they would share concepts, pass down traditions, share myths about creation. But the storytelling always made some type of a connection. And storytelling can still connect us to this day. And when the story has to do with a personal experience, it has a way to draw us in. It has a way to grip us and to allow us to imagine what it would have been like if that story was our story. I work for a nonprofit. We provide emergency shelter, medical respite, and permanent supportive housing programs for people who have or who are experiencing homelessness. Our agency had been recommended to operate a first-of-its-kind emergency shelter in a community. This is actually a reimagining of what you could do with abandoned retail space. Imagine hollowing out a former CVS or Walgreens or Rite Aid. It was Rite Aid. And it was right there in the central part of town. So we were excited at this opportunity. And there we were, awaiting to see what the city council was going to do. And as you could imagine, it's a program related to homelessness. So some of the community members had some opinions.
I'm not against homeless people. I'm against the problems that arise from services that treat homeless people.
News outlets are filled with stories that sensationalize the crisis of homelessness. The headlines: fear, crime, vandalism, blight, fires, theft, danger. That narrative can and does perpetuate fear.
It is already really concerning being a young girl in this world we live in now today. Why do we have to make our hometown feel more unsafe? There are people that are going to be put in a homeless shelter that should not be around kids my age and younger. Therefore, it is going to be unsafe in general.
Instead of a belief that a program is going to get people out of danger and into safety and give them resources and give them the ability to access permanent housing, it's going to make our hometown unsafe. So the program ended up getting approved. And we set out on our mission to meet people where they are, inspire hope, and walk alongside them on their journey to sustainable housing. And lives were transformed. And lives are transformed every day in programs across the United States. And we can share our pie graphs, and we can share our data, and we can share our operations costs. We can share our outcomes metrics. And we do, because data is extremely important. But people are still going to watch the sensationalism in the media. They're still going to see people panhandling on their way home. They're still going to see people ill and living in the streets in their community. And all too often, this has the ability to suck the compassion from them, leaving them bitter, distrusting, and angry. I've had the opportunity to work with vulnerable populations for the better part of the last 20 years. And nothing reminds me more of why I do what I do than when I am in program, talking with, speaking with, sharing with people who are around or people who are utilizing our programs. Because they tell the story. They tell the story with their presence. They tell the story with their eyes. And they tell the story with their voices. So we had an idea. The program was bearing fruit. People were identifying their barriers to housing. They were getting into safety. They were accessing permanent housing. And we thought, what if we invite a couple of those guests to a city council meeting to share their stories during the public comment period?
I found this place, and they took me in and helped me. They gave me food, place to stay, counseling. I mean, it was just the wonderfulest thing. I'm really thankful for the homeless shelter and everything they've done for me. I'm housed now, and things are looking bright right now, so I'm pretty excited. So just want to tell everybody thank you for what you guys have done down there.
So now we're drawn in. That person has a story. That could be my brother. That could be my parent. That could be my child. That could be my friend. That could be me.
I just want to give special thanks to the Gathering Inn. I have my own apartment. I just want to thank them for their extra support and their extra support and their commitment to helping me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I just want to thank them, thank all the staff, all the special support and all the love. Thank you so much.
You could feel the energy in the room swelling. There was power and there was strength in those stories. And then the mayor responded.
Hard to not shed a tear here. We are so proud of you. We want to thank the Gathering Inn and hearing these success stories. This is what it's all about. This partnership has been wonderful.
When we hear people's stories, it allows us to imagine what it would be like to see the world through their eyes. Now, we can and should share our data. And we can and should advocate for people in power to continue the work, to continue their advocating, to make sure that programs like these can continue and they can provide services to get people, our most vulnerable people, off of the streets. But the whole reason that we have programs like these is to transform circumstances and restore dignity. And who better to tell that story than those who have lived it themselves? Because after all, the mayor was right. This is what it's all about. Thank you.